inevitable. Dodger baseball.
Like the great Martin Luther King Jr. once said, with great power comes great responsibility. And after the Dodgers added Shohei Ohtani, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and Tyler Glasnow to their team last year, they knew they were responsible for what was about to be either the biggest disappointment in baseball or biggest super team championship in baseball. And they immediately went the second route with the power they added along with what they already had. And if you thought they'd slow down after winning it all, you'd be right up with those people who predicted the world to end in 2012. Because now add not one, but two ace-like pitchers to the Dodgers, a team that already had like 3 or 4 aces. Yeah, here's 2 more. Really quick as always, if you're part of the 56% of viewers not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button if you enjoyed the videos. As Roki Sasaki, like I've said in past videos, I'd consider the best pitcher available this offseason, and that's going up against the other guy the Dodgers got in Snell. You got Max Fried, Corbin Burns. Now, am I saying he'll immediately be better than them? No. The most innings he's ever thrown in his baseball career is 129, and that was 3 years ago. He threw 111 last year. So don't expect him to come out and be the Dodger ace like Yamamoto was immediately expected to be. He's so young, heading into only his age 23 season, obviously inexperienced. He hasn't pitched much internationally either, but Sasaki's potential alone is higher than the other big free agent pitchers this offseason. And I'd go a big step further and say higher than most, if not all, pitchers in baseball. Again, it's not that simple, and there's a lot that has to go right for Sasaki to reach his potential, but there's a reason people were deeming him the best pitcher in the world 3 years ago. Now imagine him as a more established pitcher as he gets older and works with the Dodgers, who are very good at working with players and getting the best out of them.
But if like one of your main goals is to become the best pitcher you can possibly be, like development wise and everything, scouting report wise, to like all that stuff, I was like, this is the place for you. If your motivation is whether it's like money or winning or whatever, I think this is the best place to grow as a baseball player type of thing. That was my message.
Now, yes, the Dodgers have also become very good at leading their pitchers' elbows to snapping into, but that's also every pitcher in today's game. They're all walking Tommy Johns. The Dodgers definitely have one of the highest, if not the highest rate in pitchers with arm issues and elbow stuff. So that's definitely something to work on and to be a little concerned about. But overall, I mean, adding Yamamoto was amazing on its own. Now add Sasaki. It's unfair. And I'm saying that in a fun way, not in a mad way. At this point, and specifically with this signing, you can't blame the system or MLB or deferrals or anything like that for the Dodgers ending up with yet another star player. You can't. A big thing we as fans have done now whenever the Dodgers sign someone is look straight at the contract details, see how much money of the contract was deferred, freak out, call them the LA deferrals instead of the LA Dodgers. Haha, get it? That's clever because they both start with a D. Rinse and repeat. That's the cycle. And then there's me, who's kind of like happy about it, and Dodger fans love it, everyone else hates it, but this signing is completely different. As an international player, you can't get any money from a team unless it's from the international bonus pool, which is not that much money. And when you sign with said team, you're under the same amount of control any player is when they first enter the big leagues. So you can't become a free agent for 6 years. You're kind of like on a minor league contract. Sasaki is joining MLB right now despite no chance of getting a big contract since he's too young, because he wants to just get his big league career going. He wants to start developing as much as possible with the best opportunity possible, and then in 6 years he'll be able to get that big contract that will probably be worth more money if all things go relatively according to plan than it would have been if he waited another couple of years when he was 25, like his new teammate Yamamoto did. But in other words, this decision never was going to have to do anything with the money. I mean, sure, the Dodgers did need a certain amount of international bonus money to make it happen, which is why they actually made a trade with the Phillies, giving them a player in return for bonus money to then use for Sasaki, which is funny because it's almost like, well, actually, no, not almost. It is like the Phillies just helped the Dodgers get Sasaki. But in the end, it was all about the best opportunity, and so it's crazy to see yet another great player end up on the Dodgers. But this time it had nothing to do with any sort of money or deferrals or anything like that. It had everything to do with Sasaki simply feeling like the Dodgers are the best chance to get him to be the best pitcher he can possibly be, and of course win in the process. And we've gotten to a point where it doesn't even matter if you offer a player more money than the Dodgers, because there's still a really good chance that player will still end up picking the Dodgers over you. We've seen this multiple times this very offseason now. Teoscar Hernandez publicly acknowledged he was offered more money elsewhere, but chose to stay with the Dodgers for the 3-year contract he got with them. The new Korean infielder, Hae-Sung Kim, was offered a little bit more money by the fake LA team and chose to sign with the real LA team anyway. So it's not even just the stars getting the most money possible. Guys like Blake Snell, who was going to demand a big contract, and he gets a big contract, and he signs with the Dodgers because of it. It's even the guys who are either mid-tier players or even like Kim, who did not demand a big contract at all, and he still ends up on the Dodgers. So I think it's brilliant, and of course working out perfectly for the Dodgers, because they've built their organization to a point where players just simply want to play for them. Whether they get more money there or not, they just want to play for them. The Dodgers are still going to be a top preference, whether you're from Japan, Korea, the Dominican Republic, anywhere in the United States, anywhere in the world. The Dodgers have built themselves into such a looked up upon organization that they can still get so many players without even having to offer the most amount of money. I mean, imagine any kid playing baseball in Japan right now. Who are they dreaming to play with? Most likely the Dodgers. So now add Roki Sasaki to the list of players ending up on the Dodgers simply because he chose them rather than because he got a contract he couldn't refuse. It's greater than just any sort of money or deferral situation. It's bigger than that at this point, much bigger. And I get it. As a fan of another team, you're going to naturally be upset and think this is unfair. But I'm sorry, how cool is it that your 1-2-3 punch, or at least eventual 1-2-3 punch for this Dodgers starting rotation, has 3 Japanese studs, with one of them also going out and hitting like an MVP every year? That's really cool. I mean, this is literally the LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh of not just LA, of Japan. Just those 3 alone are worth going nuts over the Dodgers, without even mentioning all the other players they have. Like, oh yeah, Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, 2 MVP winners and guys who are in the mix for an MVP award every single year. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And for Sasaki specifically, it was inevitable. I mean, the moment he was posted to be able to sign with a big league team, the Dodgers were the obvious prediction. I think he did consider some other teams, yes. I do think he did. I'm still confused about the whole Padres gear thing at Petco Park that was leaked. But yeah, I mean, I really do think he at least somewhat considered other teams. I don't think he was 100% set on the Dodgers the entire time, but it's pretty clear that the Dodgers were always his number one and most likely preference / landing spot. And that goes back even before he was posted. Like, a year ago when he was talking to Andrew Friedman over in Japan. And at the end of the day, you could be mad all you want if you're not a Dodger fan. Of course, he's not on your team and you're not going to be happy about it. That's okay. But why wouldn't it be his most preferred and likely landing spot this entire time? You could say he could have wanted to join another team because he wanted to be able to beat the Dodgers rather than just join them. But from a guy who has never really been outside of his home country much, you're telling me that there's a better option out there than to join a team that has Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto on it. Oh, and they're also the absolute best team in baseball that gives you a chance to win a championship every single year, while also proving to be such a good organization for developing players. It's that simple. There's no better option than that for a guy like Roki Sasaki, whether you hate this signing or not. And, yeah, sorry, Blue Jays. Let me know your thoughts, and thank you for watching.